In this video, we'll be covering Alibaba versus AliExpress. What's the difference, which one you should be using, and why, of course. Now, there is a big difference between Alibaba and AliExpress, but a lot of people don't even know nothing about AliExpress. They know everything about Alibaba. So they hold that Alibaba is one of the world's largest marketplaces where you can buy almost anything directly from China. So instead of going to eBay and getting the same exact identical products, you just shortcut yourself. You're going to Alibaba and you're buying it directly from there. So it's going to get shipped to you. It is much cheaper. It is much better, and sometimes the quality is even better than the stuff you get in other places. Now, there's a few things that I don't like about this site. When you're buying something on Alibaba, prepare to pay for more than one item. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here so you can see what it is about. So let's say we are going to be buying this item right here. And this item is just the earphone itself. So when you're buying something on Alibaba, you're buying a bunch of stuff. You're not buying one item, you're buying thousands of items at a very cheap rate. The whole point of you buying from Alibaba, it is like a Sam's Club. It is like a warehouse where you get a lot of stuff and very cheap, and you can resell them for a lot more money. And there is an issue with that as well. So here we are getting this merchandise that we can get for very cheap amounts. So if you're getting 100 pieces, it is $1 a piece. And if you can sell it for $10, you already made a nice little profit right here. But here's another thing. You have to buy at least 100 items here. By buying 100 items, you're committed for spending a lot of money here. If you want to cheapen the price even more, by buying 1,000 pieces, you're getting each one 56 cents for this item that you can sell yourself for like $10 on somewhere else. You definitely will make money, because if somebody wants to buy this, they have to buy a humongous quality of it in order for them to get those rates. And how many people you know want 100 of the same exact item? If you're getting one, you want to keep it for yourself. If you're getting a few of them, you want to give it as a gift. But 100 of them, way too many. But here is the other issue with Alibaba itself. If you're shopping on Alibaba, you can actually go and buy the item, but you have to use your credit card. And a lot of people don't like that idea, because now you have to enter your credit card manually. You're not even using PayPal, which is a lot more secure here. And there is a lot of different shoppers that you can go with, and you can try to figure out who is not. This one right here, you can see 2 stars for the transaction rating here. The communication is alright, it's not that great. The product is as described, 4.7 stars is pretty good. The shipping time is excellent for this item. There's a lot of different items. You can go and get them on Alibaba itself, but Alibaba is a humongous warehouse, and when you're buying from Alibaba, prepare to put down a lot of money. The more money you put down, the cheaper the item itself is actually gonna be. Here are some drones that are actually selling on Alibaba itself, and this is actually a remote control for the drone itself. There's a lot of other different parts for the drones, and this is actually a very nice place where you can buy equipment for drones, because people always buy spare parts for them. They really need the spare parts for the drones themselves. And you can see when you're going to any of those places, we're going to go to one of those places just for me to show you how you can make a good deal on something right here. Here is one drone right there that is selling for around $200 a piece. So let's go into this one. This seems like an interesting item. This is the X5 right here that is selling here, and each one of those is going for $28. And when you're buying this, this one is only requiring actually 5 items, which is not that bad. But then again, Alibaba itself, they require you to get a bunch of items, not just one. They never really sell one item. So a lot of people who go into this kind of discouraged because there's a lot of things that are pretty interesting, they're good here, but you have to buy many of them and you can't test out and see how much you like every one of those items. So if you want to go and find out which one you actually like, you can go into AliExpress, which is the same exact website. AliExpress and Alibaba are two entities that are actually part of one big entity, which is Alibaba itself. So it is just like a split between them, but AliExpress is just a way for you to conveniently shop, and it is like a storefront for Alibaba itself. And the good thing about AliExpress is that you can buy things. You also have to use their credit card here. It is the same exact issue we have as before. You have to enter your credit card manually here. But here's the good thing. Let's say you find a product you really like and you want to resell and make money. Here's a very nice item right here. So if you want to resell this item right there, all you have to do is pick it, and this one is only for 13.5. You don't need to buy more than one piece here. You can only buy one, and that's it, and you're all set, and you can resell it for more money. So if you buy this for 13.5 and then you open up like a sunglass place, and if you have like a location that you can do this business at, and if you have a physical location or even like a summer place that you can just sell those sunglasses, one of the best ideas to make money next to a beach location is to sell necessities for it. Sunscreen lotion, sunglasses, water. Those are all those things that people always need, right? Like bathing suits, clothing towels, all that stuff. If you can open up a place like that, that's like a dream job. You're right next to the beach, you're selling items for people who come in as tourists. They really need to buy it. Eventually you open up your own gift shop and stuff like that. So that's actually being in a physical location and doing business, but then you have to have overhead cost. You're paying taxes, you're paying gas, you're paying all kinds of different kind of money. I mean, people can come in and steal stuff from you. All kinds of other issues you have to deal with when you have an actual real storefront. Although that is a cool thing to have and you have a lot of traffic, virtually you can have humongous amount of traffic and you don't have to deal with those issues. You can put your own hours. You don't have to open up the shop at a certain time and close it. You can have as many sick days as you need. You can take a vacation whenever you want. So having your own virtual shop is so much better than having a physical shop. Although a physical shop is pretty cool because you get to interact with clients. But this is one of the items that I found here that's pretty cool. 36 bucks is way too much for you to make some money on it, but something that goes for 13 bucks, you definitely can make a few dollars on it, especially if it does sell for 20 or something. The case in itself is kind of cool, so just the case alone could be sold even separately as an add-on additional, and that could make you money. But the big difference between the AliExpress here and Alibaba is that Alibaba is the place for you to buy a lot of stuff and a huge quantity. The more you buy, the more you're gonna save. But before you go to Alibaba and make some deals and ask people to buy something, you want to go to AliExpress. You want to find the same identical item here, and we're going to be looking at what kind of things are best selling here. It is very, very simple. Just press on best selling, and we are taking a look at the wiki best selling and the hot products here. You're just picking the items that are already known to be selling pretty well on the site itself. Then you're taking the product itself, you're ordering one piece, and then you're testing it out, testing the market out. So by testing the market out, let's say for example this item right here, this item is really, really cool actually. So it is only selling for $1.88, and it used to be almost $4 right here. You can have all kinds of designers. So if you're going to like a craft fair, you can get a bunch of those and sell each of them for like $5 a piece and get a huge amount of cash here, because people who go on craft fairs really like those neat, nice things like that. And for $1.88, you can't really go wrong here that much. And then you can try to sell it for around $5. And shipping to United States is actually free, which is kind of cool as well. So that's one thing that you could actually do here. And since it takes a pretty long time to ship it from that location to your location, which is around, like, look at this, 20 to almost 40 days shipping, which is a very, very long time. That's where you have to get the merchandise up front. That's where you buy wholesale, you buy a bunch of those items and you just calculate the demand here. But I would just get the samples of those, and then if this thing is start selling and is doing well after you get it from AliExpress, you go into the big shop, which is Alibaba. And on Alibaba itself, you find the same identical item and you buy it from there, and you get a bunch of them a lot cheaper. So instead of paying $1 something for the item, you're paying 50 cents now. And because you've tested the product out, you know it is selling and you know it is making money. So that's a very good method for you to check it out and to start on AliExpress, and then you graduate and you move to Alibaba and you get the same or identical item a lot cheaper. So that's the big difference between those two sites. Both sites only accept a credit card, and I do suggest for you, if you want to stay safe, here is a good tip for you when it comes to opening up your own credit card and using it on a site like Alibaba or AliExpress. Since you have to put the credit card information right into those websites, if you don't really trust them completely, that is fine. First off, don't use a debit card, because somebody, if they hack into your debit card, they can empty your whole bank account right there and you're not covered. But with a credit card, you are protected. By using just one credit card and just shopping in those two places, now you know that if somebody does make a purchase, you can right away see it on that credit card itself, because you're just using it for those purpose itself. It's not going to get lost in a huge bill and then you won't see if something does happen. Another suggestion for you is that, let's say you buy stuff from it and then you get suspicious activity, you can easily close the card. Or even better, after you buy a bunch of stuff and you think that your card's been actually compromised on this website, you can go in and tell them to change the card number and give you a new credit card with a different card number. So you can actually try that. I myself, I did buy stuff on Alibaba and AliExpress. I never had any issue, never had any other kind of people trying to scam me with the number. The website itself is very safe, and putting the numbers, the credit card numbers into it is not going to get you hacked or any other issues. But here's one thing that I want you to keep in mind when you're making purchases using a credit card. I know some of you like to have it convenient. You go to like a mall or to a place that has a Wi-Fi area and just buy stuff on credit card. That's a big no-no. Always use a secure location. Secure location would be like if you are living in your house and you have internet access, you have no excuse. Just use that location to buy things online, because now you know that nobody can hack into your network and buy things from you. Your network at your house is way more secure than the other networks that are not in your house. So if you go to a coffee shop, it is less secure because anyone can get in between you and the network itself. It actually has another door in it, so somebody can get in there and hack the information. It's more likely for that to happen over there. Especially if you go into it, you're buying something, you don't log out of the website, so it actually stays still on in it. Especially if you're using a public computer, you're not even using your computer. That's the least secure way and the most likely for you to get hacked over there. So I'm just letting you know about this, how to stay safe when you're buying things online. Those are a few suggestions that I have for you, and I do suggest for you to try out those things that I just told you about, because it's a great way to make cash with Alibaba itself. And there's going to be a lot of other cool things that Alibaba has that do come up all the time. There is different kind of holiday activities. There's all kinds of things that they sometimes have that are specials, and you can buy them very, very cheap, and you can make a pretty good cash with it. Here, take a look at some things here that you can buy for next to nothing. Look at the jewelry itself. $3 for this. You can definitely flip this for a lot more money. There's a lot of very, very nice items on Alibaba that you can buy, and you can resell for a lot more money here. So they look kind of not bad, because in China, to manufacture and make those items, it really does cost this much to make them. But when they actually go and import the same identical items to United States, they just put a brand name to them and they resell them for a lot more money. So the same identical item that looks almost identical like this would be sold in United States for a lot more cash. So some pair of earrings just like this sold at a big shop is definitely gonna be selling for a lot more. It will be like 20 to 30 bucks here, and right there it is selling for almost exactly the cost for them to manufacture it. They don't care about that because they sell so much of it that a few cents that they make does add up to them. Now I don't know how in the world they make any money by shipping some of those items for almost next to nothing. That's another story. But yeah, but if you buy a bunch of those and you get them, here is how much you have to get them. You have to get 12 pairs of them, which translates into like 20 bucks, and if you can sell each of those for around 10, you make a pretty good profit, and then you can continue doing the same exact thing. And it says like the top 3 markets for this area too, which is kind of cool, because you get like 40% just from North America alone, which means the best place for you to sell would be in United States itself. So all you have to do is find the items, take a look around on Alibaba what you like, and then take the item itself. So we are going to be copying this item because you have to buy 12 pairs here. We want to see if we can buy the same exact thing a lot cheaper on AliExpress. I mean, you just typed it in and we are doing just a search for it. So we are coming up with other items here, not necessarily an identical the same item, but you can see that you definitely can find something else maybe that does meet your eyes. So sometimes you won't be able to find the same identical awesome item that you found on Alibaba on AliExpress, but still you can find something that is almost as cool or even cooler, like this item right here. I really like this. You have the pageant here, and you have this very nice vintage kind of clock look to it, and it costs $8.50, which is a little bit on the expensive side. But then again, this item is gold plated, and by gold plated it definitely links the price of this item a lot higher here. So we have a crystal and it is gold plated. It looks very, very nice, and for $8.50, if you can sell this for around 20 bucks a piece, you already made your money. If you can't sell it, you're gonna have a loss on it, and then you can try to sell it for almost how much you bought it. And I like to do this sometimes when you buy something and it's not working for me and I'm not able to sell the item, I like to mark it down. So let's say I bought this item for $8.50. I attempted to sell it. I'm not getting any sales on it. There's two things you can do. One, you can try to return it, but shipping it back over there, that's not a good idea. It doesn't really work good because you have to pay for return shipping, and then again, I mean, for them to refund you for $8.50, that's not really worth it here. More likely, I go to eBay itself. I would try to list it first. I mean, I always like to list the item at higher price than I initially expected to sell. So I would try 24 bucks. Then if that doesn't work, I go down to like 21, and then maybe go a little bit higher, like 22, and then you keep on moving it a little bit down, like 16 bucks. Experiment with that a bit, and then you keep on moving it maybe a little bit higher for a bit, which is going to be like 17, 18. Then we go down again to 15, and we continue going down until we eventually sell the item. Eventually we're going to find the price where the right buyer is going to come. They're going to step in and they're going to buy the item, and hopefully it's going to be much higher than what you paid for it and how much it cost you to ship it, including all the eBay and PayPal fees. So once this covered, if you have a profit on the item, that's cool. If the item does not sell good, if the item does not have a profit to it, that's not good. That means this item did not work. So we are going back into and we are searching for something else to experiment with. Eventually we want to have a huge line of about 20 products that are selling pretty good in our wholesale store. And that is the whole idea for you. You have to have a bunch of merchandise that's kind of related. Out of all this merchandise, you want to have at least 3 to 4 items that are best selling, that are always selling almost every week. So eventually you want to find the winning combination of very few products that are selling a lot. Those are the products that's going to make you the most money. Everything else is just pocket change, and everything else is just there to make the store looks good. You don't want to have only 4 products in a store. Just think about if you go to a store in a mall, they usually have a bunch of products for you to buy. Think of Apple. They have around 10 or so very simple products that you can buy. They don't have a lot, like a humongous amount of products. They have accessories for those products, but the main products are very, very small. And you have to do the same. You have to keep the merchandise that is selling very well to be the best you can actually find, and you have to protect those lines of merchandise. So you want to make sure the listing itself is excellent. There is everything in it. There is nice pictures, nice description. Those are the products that's going to make you the big money. So this concludes the Alibaba and AliExpress lecture, and see you in the next one.